Hi there, everybody. We're just making sure
Hello.
that we're not revealing anything that we shouldn't be down here.
I can't say hi. You can't see my face.
Yes.
I'm a dentist.
Em's a dentist, so she can't show you her face. We're just kidding. So, folks, we thought we would take you through some cupping tonight. It's a bit fun and exciting. Well, I think it's fun and exciting. It's ringing. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to take you through a traditional fire cups. When I do a cupping of this area of the spine, so we cup a large number of areas, legs and arms and shoulders and all sorts of things. But when we do the spine, we use fire cups usually because I find that they've got nice, decent suction to them. What happens with these beautiful little cups here? This is an example of one of the cups. They're different sizes depending on where you're putting them in the body. Looks like Heidi's going to jump up and join us. She might not when the fire arrives. These are a glass cup, and we put the fire, which we have got in on a little forceps thing anyway, holding it on, that we introduce inside the cup to heat up the air inside the cup, and then very quickly pop it on the skin, which means that the difference in pressure between the inside of the cup and the outside of the cup draws the skin and the superficial layer of muscle. That means the layer that's highest towards the top, closest to the skin, will be drawn up and inside the cup, which hopefully you'll be able to see really well when we do this, to break up adhesions and really increase the blood flow to that area. What we're trying to do in this area here, particularly the ribs, Em's been having a little bit of trouble with a rib issue. The muscles along here, there's only a couple of layers of muscles here, but they can actually kind of adhere to the ribs. So that feeling that you get when you sort of haven't got freedom of movement, when you go to move around, you're sort of sitting at your desk all day and you feel super stiff between your shoulder blades, often comes from adhesions of those muscles onto your ribs rather than trigger points within those areas. Sometimes that happens as well, but we choose to do dry needling when we've got a trigger point in an area. But when there's an adhesion of one muscle on top of another, or the muscle on top of ribs, for example, then cupping is what we would choose to do. So this area here, brilliant for cupping. It's not uncommon for me to do cupping to about here and then needling down here because there's some deep muscles that get trigger points down there. But today we're just going to do the cups for you. So I'm going to start off with a vacuum cup to begin with, because I just want to show you one of the techniques that we can do by actually moving the cup up and down the spine. It really helps to break up adhesions, and Em's problem side is on this left hand side, so we're going to do that there. The reason we use the other cups, I'll show you what they look like as well, is because I can gauge how much pressure or how much suction is on these cups. So these are plastic. We use a little gun here that draws the air out of the suction once they're actually on, so they then draw up. So we can do it a little bit, we can use a little bit of a squeeze, or we can do a couple of squeezes depending on how much pressure we want on that area. Once I've done Em's back with the fire cups, I'm going to do Em's shoulder as well. With kids just don't seem to watch us go live, so therefore she doesn't know to stop ringing. Buzzer. All right. So just a little bit of pressure on this one. We'll see whether that's enough. You might be able to see from where you are that that's just drawn a little bit of Em's skin into the surface. And we're just going to roll that cup up and down. So you'll be able to feel, babe, that that's pulling.
Yep.
And then every now and again we go over a little bony bit of rib or the spine and it loses a little bit of pressure. So we just keep adding pressure as we go. It's really important to make sure these cups you can actually get yourself and do them at home. You need to make sure that you don't put them directly over any moles or any areas of raised skin, because you don't want to cause any damage to any areas. But particularly when you're doing this rolling cups, I've already oiled Em up. You can see the nice sheen on her back. Last time I did a cupping on Em, it was quite late at night and there was an extremely large number of followers compared to what we normally get. And our marketing team said it might have had something to do with how I essentially rubbed the oil on Em's back. So I thought I'd probably better not do that because I don't want to get the wrong impression of what our posts and our live videos are all about. All right, so this is just increasing the blood flow to this area. And when I've finished up here, I will show you what that's doing to Em's back. Keep adding the pressure. So it's certainly reddened. I should have done it on the other side, but that's not this side that Em's got the problem on. But it's certainly increasing the blood flow, and there starts to be some just little tiny petechial hemorrhages, which is tiny little red sort of tiny blisters under the surface of the skin.
It'll look like a hickey.
And it looks like a really big hickey. Yeah.
It actually feels really good.
Well, it was our anniversary yesterday, so, it's not too unreasonable for you to have a
hickey on my back. It's like you got the wrong side.
Oh, nobody told me what to do in that regard. I had no idea. All right, babe. Now, given I'm going to do fire cups as well, I'm going to leave that as being enough for that area. So, baby, if I can get you just to roll towards me, so put your arm on here. Let me have your arm.
Sorry.
Give me your arm, woman. All right, just roll yourself this way just so that we can see what's going on. So you can see here that the area is reddened where I've been using the cup, and there's tiny little red petechial hemorrhages, which is where the blood vessel has broken the surface a little bit. So basically we know what we're doing here is we're really increasing the blood flow to that area. So that is, just checking again that I've got my knife discreetly covered, that is one way that we can break up adhesions in that area along the spine. But like I said, if you're trying to do this at home, if you've got yourself a cupping set, please make sure you don't run over any any moles or anything like that, because that can cause damage that we do not want. All right, now let's get into the fun stuff. Let's do some fire cupping because it's fun. Yes, it involves a real candle, people, so watch out. Did you bring the fire extinguisher out in case I caught things on fire, babe?
No.
Oh dear. This is going to be the best live ever if I catch myself on fire, won't it? Alrighty. You feeling nervous?
No, I'm just wondering what I'd grab first if the house burnt down.
Me, take me.
I think we've had this conversation before. Actually, I'd grab dinner sitting on the bench.
Just sitting there ready to go. I'm starving. Alright, so... fire. Let there be fire. And there was. Alright, you need to keep your head straight, beautiful. Okay. So just inside the cup there, nice and quickly, to create the heat that we require to create the vacuum extraction there, which will then start to suck M's skin up. I'm hoping that with the way that we've done it here, you'll be able to actually see the skin and superficial muscles drawing in. I wish you could see that. That was great, that one. You can hopefully see that from there. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that from... How you going there, babe?
Good.
So there's something about cupping when you first have it done. It feels a lot like there's an elephant sitting on your chest.
Yep, pretty much.
Really, really tight.
Everything feels super tight.
I haven't had a chance to see who's on because I'm a bit far away from the camera to actually see, or the phone to actually see who's on and who's not. But if Vicky's on, she can vouch. She's come in and had a cupping done as well recently. But what we're trying to do here is we're trying to break up all these adhesions on Em's back so that when the elephant gets off her chest, it'll feel like heaps of relief. So when you first get the cups put on, it really is quite difficult to breathe initially, but it lasts for about a minute or so. So if you can handle that pressure for about a minute, it's quite firm. It literally is like somebody sitting on your back. You will find that the adhesions will start to break up, and it feels like the pressure of the cups and the suction of the cups has reduced, but it hasn't. It hasn't changed at all. It stays the same, but the skin has been drawn in and the muscle underneath it has either broken away from the other muscles, which is what happens down this area of the lower back where the two muscles are sort of stuck together, or up here it moves away from the ribs. So all of a sudden it feels like the pressure of the cups has reduced. So they're looking nice and colourful, babe. I just want to get up a bit closer to the screen to see if I can read some of your comments and just see what you guys can see there. Oh yeah, you can actually see that. I'm actually going to just temporarily turn off the ring light because it's creating a bit of a strange shadow in there. I'm hoping that that's still bright enough for you to see. Can I get some feedback as to whether it's better without the lights on? Oh yes, Vicky's there. Hello. So the redness that you can see under there is that increased blood flow. This one here, from what I can see on the screen here, which is ever so slightly out of picture on Facebook, sorry. You can see that the skin is up and inside the cup there. So pretty incredible. Oh, Jen says, poor Em. No, this is awesome. She's getting a treatment.
It feels good. It feels good.
It really does. Yeah. Kira, you got to get into it. It's really, really good. So we can see that there's quite a layer. So the skin's coming up to about there on the cup on this one. So it's gone up and inside by about 1 centimetre or so. This one here is huge. This one's really good. I wish I could drop the camera down a little bit, but I don't think I can. This one here is up about 1 inch. So it's coming up to there on the cup. There's a lot of skin and muscle up and in these ones. The same on the other side, which of course you can't see, but that's right where Em's got the issue with her ribs. So this is going to be a ripper for you, babe. It's going to feel fantastic afterwards. And yes, afterwards, you end up looking like an octopus. Yeah, exactly right. Looks like you've had an octopus stuck on your back. And yeah, sometimes the cupping kisses, I call them, they last for about a week. At times they can last even longer, but that's, you know. Yep, Jen's saying that they can see it. Oh, so awesome, the relief. Yeah, Rita agrees. It definitely does leave the bruising though, Sandra. Yeah, so the bruising will last for about a week or so. But, you know, wear it with pride because I think it's pretty cool. They look really awesome. Narelle says just relief, so she's had hers done as well. Okay, Rita's saying without the ring light. Thank you. Oh, one says light on is better. One says light off is better. Damn it. Yeah, I'll show you at the end what it looks like once we've taken the cups off. Either way with the light, it's fine, okay. Yep, honestly, it is just one of the most relieving methods of soft tissue work. I love it. Never seen it done before. I thought it might have been interesting for Vicky to be able to see it done because she's had it done but hasn't seen how we put the fire inside the cups to get it done. It's a bit of a strange sensation because the cups themselves are cold, the glass is cold, and then the air inside is warm. So it's this strange combination of cold on your skin, but then the inner part of it's warm. It's weird. It's such a weird feeling. I mean, I could always warm up the cups, but that would just be too much of an effort. Sorry, I do love you all, but, you know, it's a lot of time and effort. Mary wants to have a go as well. Oh, well done. Kathy's just got home from doing her second Zumba class.
Oh, that's cool.
I used to wear a tutu to a Zumba class, only because I was told to. But anyway, I'm a bit unco. Eva would love to try this. Oh, yes, we'll do your whole back, Eva. Oh, that's excellent, Shazza. I hope I've answered your question on how cupping works. Rita's got her own vacuum cups. Awesome. Rita, do yours have the long tube that you can pop on to be able to do your own back? Rhea needs it, Ella's saying. Okay. All right, perfect. Hot Perth, Shaz. It's a bit chilly here. I feel for him. She's lying here half naked and it's a bit...
Bloody Melbourne weather.
It's a bit chilly today.
Can't make up its mind.
No. I'm just trying to catch up with all the comments. Sorry, folks. Kerry says, Jesus, looks brutal.
It's good. It's getting easier to breathe now.
Yeah. So
I don't want to talk like this anymore.
Yeah, it honestly does take a minute or two. Oh, there you go. Oh, Jen's saying she'd bruised for a month. Some of them can become quite purple. I'm keeping my eye on these to make sure that we don't have any. The one up the top right on M's shoulder is going to probably be the best one from a bruising perspective. And that generally means that it's an area where there's a lack of blood flow. And I love my wife to bits and she's not a stress head, but she doesn't stop at all. She's always on the computer, always on the go. And so we all have that tendency. I'll come around the other side and see if I can mimic this without being insulting. But a lot of us have a tendency when we're feeling a bit stressed and tight when we're typing away on a computer to do this. You don't realise you're doing it, but your shoulder blades kind of end up around your ears a little bit. And that is certainly something that when I'm watching Em, she has a tendency to clench her jaw and to have that, you know, shoulders up around her ears a little bit. And so that's why that area then is congested. So there's not enough blood flowing to that area generally. When we're in a stagnant posture like that, we're kind of stuck like that all the time on the computer. So the blood just doesn't have a chance to flow through there like it would normally. And therefore, when we do the cupping and we increase the blood flow, it's almost like it hasn't had blood for so long that it tends to bruise more and it tends to be the most beautiful colour. So these four, from what I can see so far on Em, have definitely got that tendency. So this is the area where Em has trouble, and then this top area tends to be where Em holds a fair bit of her tension. I love you, baby. I haven't insulted you, have I? Just making sure.
It's all true.
Oh, Matea, what a really great statement. Thank you so much for mentioning that.
What did she say?
So Matea was saying that when she has it done, it makes her feel quite emotional.
Oh.
So I've had a couple of nice emotional reactions in the clinic this week. One of the most common areas when we release as chiro. So we believe that emotions can either cause or lock in a physical ailment. So whether it's, emotional stress that causes you to lift your shoulders up like that and it puts them out and therefore they kind of get stuck there, or geez, I've hurt my shoulder, it's been going for ages and I can't go out and play tennis like I like to, etc. And then the emotion of that shoulder problem being there causes it to stay there, if you get what I mean. So any emotional triggers can actually lock something into a joint so significantly that as a practitioner, we need to deal with the emotional side of it as well as the physical side of it, or that problem doesn't resolve 100%. One of the most common places for that, which then triggers an emotional reaction in our clinic, is the diaphragm. One of the most emotional nasty holding muscles that occurs in the body. Keep in mind, if you suffer from anxiety, then you have that tendency to rapid breathe. So you've got that shallow rapid breathing where your diaphragm's just going crazy all the time. So as a result, a lot of the emotion that triggers that anxiety reaction sits in your diaphragm. So when we go up and under the ribs with our thumbs and massage it out, it actually releases that emotion as well. So all of a sudden, people can be on the table and just burst into tears. They're like, oh, I don't know what's happening. It's like, it's okay, it's normal. It's because we're releasing the muscle that has trapped all of that emotion. And then when we release it, it causes the emotion to be released. So not uncommon. That's why we have plenty of boxes of tissues at our clinic. And I personally think it's better to get it out than to leave it in, peeps, because otherwise it stays in your body and that can create all sorts of problems. All right, just catching up on these comments. What parts of the body can you have it done on? So literally anywhere where you have muscles. So these cups aren't quite as versatile as the vacuum cups are. So the vacuum cups, like when I'm going to do M's shoulder, I'm going to use the vacuum cups because I can gauge how much tension I use, like what we did at the beginning. So I'll show you that in a minute when we do M's shoulder. And then there's also silicone cups, which I can probably show you guys now while I've got M lying here, which are really good at getting around sort of bony areas. Because keep in mind, a bony area can really do with an increased blood flow as well. So therefore, the silicone cups work really well on bony parts. We won't tell them about what happened when we took a photo of the bony part that we were... A photo
you can even have them on the bottom of your feet.
Yeah, ouch. But yes, it works well. Missed the start. That's all right, Michelle. You can always go back and watch it. I was just lathering em up in oil. No, I did that before everyone started watching. Oh, that's awesome. Maria used to watch her parents do it when she was little. That's cool. Yeah, lower back could do with it. Often, Shazza, I find I tend to go for a preference of dry needling in the lower back just because I think the big muscles of the lower back tend to hold a lot more trigger points, lactic acid in there, and I find dry needling really helpful in that area. But sometimes we do just use the cups depending on what's going on, whether it's an adhesion of a muscle or whether it's a trigger point. Come to Toowoomba. Would this work on a heel spur? Yes, Lisa, absolutely. Sydney with us the same. Oh dear. 38 degrees. Okay, now feeling totally jealous. Thank you very much for that. Mother Nature's going through menopause. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, there you go. Vicky bruised for 2 to 3 weeks. Oh dear. So the baby shower, hey? Sorry about that. What's happening in the land of becoming a grandparent there, Vicky, by the way? Is everything still stalled? After finishing 100 hours tomorrow night. Oh my gosh. Wow, that's a lot of work. Left shoulder bladed, love this, hey Eva? Yep, you betcha. All right. Yeah, so sorry, Louise, I don't know whether you caught the answer to that, but certainly can be done in all sorts of other areas of the body. Some areas are not very pleasant. I did it on my quadricep muscles, the muscles of the front of your thigh the other day, and I almost had tears, but I was in with my 7-year-old, so I had to suck it up. He goes, Mum, that looks like it hurts. I'm like, yeah, can't talk right now, champ. Sarah gets emotional even with a massage. Yep, that's not uncommon as well. Thank you, Margaret. Lovely comment there.
Maybe
Oh, Jen got her
language is
pillow
touch.
today. Does that hurt at all? All right,
No.
Babe, you can answer that
No,
one.
I can just feel a slight tightness on my back.
But initially,
And
how was it?
I can't do any deep breathing, just shallow breaths.
Yeah.
But there's no pain.
Yeah, Ella says diaphragm gets her every time. I totally agree. Yep, Kylie was saying that she did a roller class, used balls in her hips and diaphragm and would cry after the class. Yeah, it's not uncommon. Wow, lots of people on today. What do we use cupping for? Is it good for nerves? Kathy, cupping is best for increasing blood flow to muscles predominantly to break up adhesions when they're stuck on each other or when they're stuck on the bones underneath them. That's the most important thing. Increases the blood flow but breaks up those adhesions so that the muscles can work independently of one another rather than as a single unit. You get not as much function out of them. Or worse still, in the rib area where you've got the rhomboids on top of the ribs and they get stuck, you're just not getting that freedom of movement that you should be getting. When you get them taken off, the freedom of movement is great. It's like you've had like a 2-hour massage. It's fantastic. When do I know it's time to take them off? When I stop talking. We do keep an eye on them to make sure none of them blister, but Em's are doing really well. Em's got beautiful skin there, so no problem at all. Julie says, I try not to burst into tears, not because I'm emotional, but because it bloody hurts. I love it. SI joints and needles are piriformis. Okay, yep. I've got a few people that have received their order. That's awesome. It's been amazing with Joanne's had lower back and glute dry needling. Yeah, it's so good. Across the back of my lung area. Made me cough a lot too. Yeah, so the congestion that you can get with a cold, cupping can really help with that as well. So Barbara, hopefully I've answered that question about what that's for. We're just trying to break up some adhesions on Em's muscles in her back. Jen saying I need to book an appointment, maybe a double. I've got a lot going on. Totally understand. All right, let's take these ones off and then I'll show you the vacuum cups on Em's shoulder. So to get these off, we just break the seal. I put my finger underneath the cup and remove them like that. And there's a little farty noise, so if I just be quiet, you might be able to hear that. On some of them, you can see that the skin remains high. These two probably will, so keep your eye on these two. Probably won't be able to see that one. I'll do this one first. It will remain high. It's really a lot of suction on this one. So that will remain up there for a little bit. Vicky, was it you that coined the Lego brick comment on your back? I thought that was pretty cool. It really does mimic the Lego brick. I need to be quiet so you can hear the farty noises. Oh, whoa. That was a ripper. Oh, that was a good noise too. All right, now normally in clinical practice, I'm really good at having something to wipe off the oil, but sorry, babe.
That's okay.
So I'm going to move the camera so that you can go and get a top on so that we can do this, and I'll check on. Just going to flip the camera around so that I don't accidentally flash my wife's bits at anybody. Does
anyone want to see what I was doing?
Oh, okay. Yep. Hold fire. She's going to come and she's going to expose herself to the camera.
Hang on, my butt crack's not coming out.
Can we check? A couple of the polystyrene bits off the thing.
Does anyone want to see?
So here's a result. So you can see under here is a little bit redder than the other side because we did the sliding cups before. For those of you who missed it, we did a different technique on this area before we put the cups on. But these are the little spots. They'll bruise up and have little circles in there, and that's it. Awesome.
Okay.
You can go and get your gear back on, and we'll just going to lift the camera up because when Em comes back, we're going to do her shoulder. Sorry, it's making my head really shiny, the light. Sorry about that. All right, so when Em comes back, we're going to do a vacuum cupping. So same principle, but a different set of cups. So these cups are plastic and we use a piston device to be able to draw the air out. So I can gauge just how much air is in there, which I find much better for peripheral joints because with the heating with the flame, it's, you know, it takes a very skilled practitioner to be able to get just the right amount of heat in there and vacuum to be able to get it, and it's very hard to release just a little bit of air, whereas with the vacuum cups, really, really simple to be able to do that. So, welcome back, baby.
Back.
How are you feeling?
Good.
You've got a great wife. She's so good to you.
Best wife ever.
So, which shoulder are we doing? This one? Which one's giving you grief?
Going to be... Well, I had pain in this one this morning.
Okay, there you go. We're going to go to the
probably
right one.
both, yeah, whichever one you want to do.
We're going to go and do the right one. So I'm going to move out of the way and go and get... Oh, I've got to lather you up with oil. We've run out of massage oil. It was our anniversary yesterday, so fair's fair. But I'm using olive oil, poor Em. I'm going to cook her up later on tonight.
Olive oil. I didn't want the vegetable oil. I wanted the olive oil.
I said to her, vegetable oil's cheaper. She goes, am I not worth the olive oil? I'm like, oh, sorry. Sorry for the insult.
Just in case it seeps in.
I'm such a tight ass. The reason that we're putting oil on is that we find that it makes the cups stick a whole lot better. The last thing you want is part way through, particularly if you've got a gentleman that's got a bit of hair on his body. You want to make sure that the cups are going to stick and do what they need to do, because otherwise they suction off and you've got to keep reapplying them, which is a bit of a pain. Not as bad with these particular cups, but I'm just going to move that up, baby, because I'm going to get one right there where we haven't got to.
I can't turn around. So
That'd be awesome.
I'll straddle the table.
Awesome. And I'll just... Not sure what to do with my hand now, but anyway.
The towel. Wipe it on the towel.
I don't want to stain.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Can I just do that one maybe? Prefer to stain this tab.
We're so indecisive.
Sorry.
We clearly know what we're doing.
Yeah, really well versed. Just didn't want to stain that good towel. Right, now, so this is my little vacuum cup set. I wonder if you can tell where we got it from. Clearly from China. All right, so this little pack of goodies has got different sizes in there, but we're going to use smaller ones because of the fact that it's a small shoulder. She's got lots of muscles, but small shoulder, yeah? So as opposed to, say, doing it on your thigh, which is a really big muscle, you can choose the larger cups. So here we go. Oh, I've taken my tool out and I've... Can you find that? What do you need? The suction thing it's in. Excellent. Yeah. All right. So if you're happy, I'll do the front first, okay, and then we'll do all the side and front first, and then we'll do the back when you can swing around. So I don't know how well you can see this. Sorry, Heidi, you're a little bit in the way because I wanted you to be able to see the skin being drawn up. These ones are actually quite painful. So if Em doesn't talk for a little bit,
it doesn't hurt.
It's because she's in agony. Right, spin round.
It just feels like I've got something sitting on my shoulder. Actually, oh, it's pulling up now.
Yeah, it's going to pull her.
A little bit painful now.
She's so tough, but ooh. Alrighty then. All right, you want to spin a little bit further?
Yeah.
So this is that muscle that I was telling you about before. So the shoulder blade sits here, and when we stress out, these muscles up here can pull the shoulder blades up like that. And this muscle here we need to relax so that Em's not so tight and stressed out. All right, one more. This one's slightly bigger. Really? Stop your whinging.
What?
Stop your whinging. Sorry, I'm a horrible wife. All right, so there you have it. So if we can get you just do a very slow sort of spin. Oh, actually stop for a moment. I'm going to turn the light off again. So can you see how much of the skin is in that one from that angle? And possibly even the top one as well. So they're probably being pulled up about 1.5 centimetres.
Does anyone else not look at something painful? Like, you know, when you cut yourself, you're like, I don't want to look.
What is it out of 10 at the moment, baby?
Oh, the last one's getting up there.
This back one?
7, yep.
Yep. Mean wife right here. She's going to feel great afterwards.
They don't hurt going on, and then they get a bit stingy, and then it eases off.
And then when you take it off, it's like heaven.
Yeah, because like
heaven.
it just feels like a pressure now where the sting's gone. It just feels like a big pressure.
And slightly different these in comparison to along your spine, where it does really make you feel like you can't take a decent breath. It's a really strange feeling.
And I'm like, I don't want to breathe in case it falls off.
Yeah, don't want to pop a cup. Some people turn their head to talk to me and the cup goes pop and pings off onto the floor at the clinic. Alrighty, let's have a look and see. Oh, Jen was saying she'd be swearing a lot. Oh, someone's jelly of you, baby. I love it. Jelly, that's what we say. We're always totes jelly in this household. I love it.
Totes jelly. I bought my daughter a pair of socks that said Totes jelly.
Can someone... Karen wants a 30th anniversary special. Oh, you've been married a little longer than us. Ours was only our first year.
No, I'm like, already? I'm like, no way.
Yeah. What would be the best for the foot area? What type of cup? I would choose a vacuum cup because I can gauge the pressure. And sometimes during a treatment, you can start with a certain amount of pressure. And once things the adhesions start to break down, you can actually increase the pressure. And it's right underneath the plantar fascia of your foot. Really, really good. If you've got a heel spur, then put it over the heel as well because that'll increase the blood flow to that area as well. Hope that answers your question, Lisa. Alrighty. Yeah, everyone thinks it looks really painful.
Actually, it's died right down to about a 3.
There you go. Is it safe to have this done if you've had spinal fusion on your lower back? Yep, absolutely. Your muscles still deserve a nice release as well. The only thing that I wouldn't recommend you doing if you've had a spinal fusion would be manual chiropractic adjustments. I would steer away from that with wouldn't go anywhere near having your back cracked. No way. Yep, Sarah said you look like an octopus. All right, perfect. I'm just going to scroll back down to the comments. If you've got any questions on cupping or what sort of conditions that we treat with it, don't hesitate to throw them on. We love chatting to you. We love your comments coming through. South Africa, that's so awesome. That is so, so cool.
Yeah, what time is it over there?
What time is it in South Africa at the moment? We'll wait and hear that answer because I think it's a little bit of a delay. Gold Coast, where else is everybody from? Curious to know where everyone's watching from. And give us an idea on what sort of temperature we're looking at your home because we're feeling a bit...
we can be jealous.
Yeah, we had a nice run in Melbourne. We did, didn't we?
For about a week.
For a week. Yeah. That was our summer. And then it's sort of gone cold again, yeah. Oh, Deb thinks you're brave. Oh, thanks. She loves how you're happy to be the model.
I'm happy.
It's the only treatment she gets.
I know. Poor woman. Gotta wait, hope nothing
Sorry,
else happens
babe.
tomorrow. I have to wait till next Tuesday.
If something happens tomorrow, she's got to wait a whole week.
See you next Tuesday.
Yeah, that's it. Jen's from Melbourne. Awesome. Linda's Wollongong. Hobart. Renmark, South Australia. Yarra Valley. Awesome. Chile Southwest. Oh, yeah. It's cold everywhere around here.
Yeah.
How are we going there, babe?
I turned my electric blanket on last night.
Did you?
Just for a little bit.
Sneaky. I didn't know about that. No, actually, I think you turned mine on too. Maryborough
well.
in Queensland. Rosemeadow in New South. Nyngan. Where's that? Okay, it's 11:50 a.m. and it's raining here for the past 3 weeks. Oh, that's no good. Is it safe if you've got Meniere's disease? Yes. Will it help with Meniere's disease? Let me think about that for a moment. If you've got tightness and stiffness in your neck, which is triggering off some of the dizzy spells and the tinnitus of Meniere's, then it can certainly help. Wouldn't be my first port of preference, though, as a treatment to try and help with that condition. I would suggest cranial adjusting and an activator adjustment of your neck as the first port of call. And I think that you would find that dry needling in your neck would actually have a better result. That's my opinion, though.
38 degrees in Bunbury today.
Nice. Pete's Ridge. Gosh, some of these places sound awesome.
Yeah, don't they?
38, yeah, so good. Wintry Melbourne.
Yeah.
Namurka. I've heard of that before. Westburn. Cygnet, Tassie. Right down the bottom southern tip. All right, awesome. How far can we go up the northern end of Australia here, peeps? We've got Queensland.
I want to go travelling.
Yeah.
Let's just get in our car and drive
degrees,
up and come and
sounds
say hi to everyone.
Do a live when I get there, Dr. Kez. All right, Rita. Awesome. And we were talking about you today, Rita. We're chatting about our daughter needing to get her hours up for her learners. She's about to turn 17, but we're not quite halfway. And so Em and I have made a little deal.
We'll go for a drive. We'll just jump in the car.
But if she's not up to where she needs to be, because I'm sure she'll want to get her license, beg your pardon, straight away when she turns 18. We might have to do some travelling. We might have to come up and visit you. Bendigo, yes. All right, now, babe, what we're going to do, just before I take these off, is I'm going to get you to do something that might seem a little bit torturous, but you're my wife and you love me and that's okay. So what I'm going to get you to do, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to just move your shoulder slightly. So it's not uncommon to have a cup placed, not this many, but to have a cup placed in a particular area and then have your joint taken through a range of movements to be able to break up those adhesions. It's a little bit like what we did initially on Em's back, where we got the cup and we moved it around. This is like leaving the cup in one spot, but then moving the joint around. So I just thought I'd do it for a bit of fun because it might make Em scream and that would be fun. I'm just going to have a look at your face just in case. I don't want to.
I'm nervous all of a sudden. Oh, that front one's pulling. Oh, yeah.
Not fun?
No. Oh.
Yeah, that's gold. You got to see her face.
Oh.
See it first, live on Dr. Kerr's Chirolab. All right, let's take these off. Em's going to look really cool, like mass octopus attack.
No,
well, that one's a good one.
Cold.
Can you guys? Oh yeah, you can see the lump on that. See the nice raised lump still, so it's still sitting there. It's awesome. I love it.
It's like a growth.
Is it? What's wrong with your body?
Oh, that one's. Oh, yep.
Heavenly.
That one's the hot.
So, needless to say, next time we go live, we'll be able to check out Em's bruises. Awesome. How's that feel?
Yeah, it feels good.
Good. I just want to show you what the silicone cups are. I very rarely use them in practice, baby. Could you reach that brown on the top of that? These ones I find helpful for, let's say you had tennis elbow or something like that. They come in different sizes. They look like a sex toy, but they're not. I don't want to get in trouble from Facebook by saying or doing something that I shouldn't. But, yeah, I
don't know what they...
You
if
look
I
like
found
you're gonna
those,
put it
I'm
on
like...
your nipple. Milk extracting device. So the idea of these, they're that silicone material, but you push the knob in with your thumb, and then when you put it on your skin and release it, I don't know if you can see my leg, it suctions on, but you don't get anywhere near as much pressure as you do with the suction cups.
Self-medicating.
But my other shoulder's jealous. So, but if you were to do it on an elbow pain or something like that, I find the pressure of the plastic cups on the bony areas a bit uncomfortable, and there's little bits of air that escape, so it's not as effective. But with this, it molds a whole lot better, and therefore, can I have a bit of resistance? Ooh, wiggle, wiggle. It will stick better on an area like that. So
don't mess with me.
Oh,
It farted.
Pardon me. So Em and I were at the clinic one day, and Em had an issue, but I was treating something else, and I put a cup on like that, and Em had her arm up like this, and we took a photo of it, and it looked so bad.
I took a photo of my elbow.
And it looked...
If you use your imagination.
It looked so bad.
I ugly laughed for
We
a
were
long time.
so long.
I've still got that photo. I can't even post it because
I just
think that would shut us down.
They would shut us down. They'd think it was
my
some
elbow.
rude thing. But I just
put
went to move the cup, babe, and
a cup here, and I took a photo of it, and the crease looked so wrong.
Yeah, really bad. It was so bad. So bad. But I still look at that photo and laugh. Every now and again, you've got to have something in your life that makes you laugh, I reckon. This one's stuck to my leg. All right, so these are the different types of cups that you can have, different ways that you can use them, like I said, with the moving of the cup up and down to increase the blood flow. But any which way you do it, cupping is absolutely fantastic.
It is.
But
it's great.
Something really important. If you go and get cupping done, please make sure you drink plenty of water. I know I bang on about water all the time, but you are releasing a lot of lactic acid. You're releasing a lot of blood cells into the area. So to make sure that that functions as best that it can, and that you can relieve all of the tension that comes from having the detoxing that takes place with cupping, then you do really, really, really need to make sure that you drink lots of water. Super, super important. Same with dry needling, same with any type of massage, rolling, using a spiky ball or whatever. Make sure you drink plenty of water because it'll make the treatment more effective and it will also make your recovery a whole lot better as well. Last thing you want is to feel achy and headachy and lethargic after a treatment. So you need to drink water tonight. Actually, you need to eat dinner because it's past dinner.
I'll drink water. I'm actually pretty thirsty. I'll have a sip.
Is it sore after all that? How is it now?
No pain at all.
Nope. It's amazing.
I feel cold more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
I had goosebumps.
You can feel loose. Tight in your shoulder and have this done, and then all of a sudden...
Yeah.
I just feel really loose.
Yeah,
really nice.
Yep.
All right. So we're going to head off and have our dinner now. I hope that was enjoyable for you. Now, I've got to rack my brain. On Thursday... Oh, I know what we're doing. We are going to go through how to assist with getting rid of a condition called Dowager's hump, or I don't know if you've, we call it hunchback of Notre Dame. That's a bit nasty. It's the slang term for it. But sometimes people can develop a, it's awful, this is another slang term for it, but buffalo hump. So where you get not just the postural change that takes place when you've got imbalances in your posture, which we've spoken about before, but we're going to go all through the exercises that you can do, but also a fat pad that can develop on that area. I don't know if you've noticed on anybody who has really developed quite a significant sort of lean forward posture like that, that they've actually got a fat pad that develops on that area of their back. So on Thursday at 8 o'clock, we are going to take you through how to rid yourself of that issue. So we're going to do some exercises, stretching for you, and also what treatment we would use to be able to help assist to get rid of that problem as well. So that's coming up on Thursday. Something for you to look forward to because, you know, it's fun. I like to get Em to do the stretches and all that sort of stuff. Awesome. Yes, Jen's saying, yes, please, I'll share it with my mum. Yeah, it's a really common postural issue as we get older. It really is quite significant. As people get older, they sort of start to slump over a whole lot more. And they can end up with big issues, and particularly when we've spoken a lot about arthritis and arthritis of the spine, if you allow your body to remain in a posture like that, the deterioration of your spine happens at a rate of knots. Don't get me wrong, we all, over time, our body starts to deteriorate, but if you've got poor biomechanics like that, you will be speeding up the process of arthritis and degeneration in your spine like you wouldn't believe, and that is not what you want as you're getting older. So if we can try and help rid people of those issues by doing some stretching, etc., then that is exactly what we will do. Rhea has one. There you go. We'll have to get Rhea to watch that one as well, Ella, so that hopefully she can do some of those little stretches and exercises as well. All right. Thanks for having us on your therapeutic journey.